Even back in 2020, the accepted notions of truth, trust, and authenticity were already under threat. Today, in 2030, we're still debating measures to assist citizens in distinguishing fact from fiction and honesty from dishonesty. Information is more persuasive simply by virtue of being visual and even visceral. A lower level of knowledge retention by individuals has put an even greater focus on the knowledge that is accessible. Everyday interaction with synthetic humans and their widespread use in the entertainment and political arenas means that people have become desensitized to footage generated by AI, which is now so accurate and so lifelike that people are unable to tell the difference.
I'm Julia Sanchez. Welcome to Report 2030. It's been almost 2 weeks since the Corlo incident, when so many lives and families were destroyed. From day one, we have seen false flags and fake news from both Corlo and the authorities. The truth I'm going to expose today will make painfully clear everything they have been trying to hide. But let's start from the very beginning. This is quite a tale.
Our partnership with Metis8 means that we can now deliver our self-folding nanotech into the body without a single incision. Now Corlo can truly be close to everyone's heart.
Or to be able to get rid of those who caused the system a little too much, or eliminate undesirables or political rivals.
Maybe you remember, a while ago my guest here said that biotech smart devices would start killing people, and I dismissed him. I want to apologize for that. He was right. The death toll so far caused by smart implants is 22. 22 fatalities and hundreds more in hospital. Do we know why? Do we know who is responsible? No, we don't, because no one's revealing that. In fact, quite a few are covering it up. So, who's implicated? Let's have a look. Richard Graves, the visionary, the leader, with access to all of Corlo's secrets. What do you say, Richard?
That the malfunction might have been the result of a corrupted update.
Of course, after I presented proof that it was much more than that, only then did you admit that it was in fact your employees selling access to cyber criminals. Do we know who these insiders are? Not really. Only one, Paul Hansen. From what sources tell us, he is one of many who have been denied overtime, passed over for promotion. Maybe he was supplementing his income, or maybe he wanted to get back at his employer. Understandable? Maybe. Excusable? Never. Have we heard any details since then? No, not one. Mr. Graves, what are you up to? Are you covering up Corlo's responsibility? Corlo's negligence? Or maybe it's active involvement in the sale of confidential data. I don't know. I'm just asking the questions we all have. Questions that are normal and natural, but have yet to be answered. We must acknowledge a hero in the midst of all of this. A person who challenged the status quo in the name of justice and was fired for his trouble. I'm talking about another of my previous guests, the ex-Corlo employee who exposed the ring that ran the whole Access as a Service scheme. The first time we spoke, he told me how he believed that not only were his superiors aware of this criminal activity, but also took an active part. Remember these? Incredible. But do we know what happened to the whistleblower? First, he got fired, we know that. Then, as he tried to reveal this information on social media, he got the banhammer. And after he came to this show, shared his revelations and provided all the proof the police needed, we'll get to them shortly. After all that, quite conveniently, he disappeared. Or he was made to. Is he in police custody? Has he fled? Or maybe Corlo has gotten to him and, well, we don't even know if he's even still alive. So, maybe it's time to reveal his identity. Maybe someone out there knows something about the fate of this man. And if you do, you know where to find me. Marcus Richardson, a hero, a modern patriot. Before he vanished, he told me he was afraid of one person. And that person is Chief Investigator Christopher Holt. Let me ask you a question, Detective. How is the investigation going?
It's too early to announce. We're still gathering data. The investigation is still ongoing. We haven't placed anyone under arrest. No solid leads. No solid leads.
Is Holt incompetent? I don't think so. Then why hasn't he revealed the truth behind this tragedy? They already have an extensive body of evidence. I know it. We all know it. They have suspects. Corlo has provided them with mountains of data. Who logged in, when, from where, what they did once inside the network. Are we supposed to believe that one of the biggest companies in the world doesn't have visibility into their own systems? This level of incompetence is difficult to comprehend. So why? One explanation could be political pressure. But who would have a vested interest in the Corlo heart attack? Do you think the government wanted to frighten us in order to influence the referendum? It resonates with the lethargy of the police investigation, right? But are they cold-blooded enough to kill their own citizens? A lot of you out there might think so, but I don't think that's the case. I know you're all here for the truth, so let me show you the truth. Michael Kavanaugh. I'm sure you're wondering what he's doing here. Isn't he the antithesis of all these others? A man who fights for privacy and transparency, a beacon of ethics and technology. Well, let me tell you something about Michael you may not know. I met him a long time ago, online, when World of Spellcraft was the new big thing. We were in the same clan, we raided together frequently. We became friends. He used to play as a dwarf mage. His avatar was called Traxos the Wise 555. Remember that name. Now, back to Corlo and the Access as a Service scheme. In total, there were 12 persons of interest identified by the police. My sources close to the cyber division tell me that each suspect had received thousands of microtransactions with all the hallmarks of cryptocurrency laundering. And with that, they hit a dead end. But I followed the money. Every crypto cent of it, from dubious burner accounts, no clues to be had there, except for one. We circle back to Paul Hansen, because when I saw who paid him for access, well, that was the breakthrough. On the other side of that crypto tumbler, the transaction originated from an account in the name of Traxos the Wise 555. Yes, exactly, my old friend the dwarf mage, Michael Kavanaugh, an outspoken supporter of the so-called splitters, appeared to be one of the criminals who had paid for illegal access to Corlo's systems. To be honest, it was hard for me to fathom. This upstanding citizen involved in such an act. I contacted him. I gave him a chance to explain.
We needed proof, but all the evidence was in Corlo's systems. So yeah, I bought access so that I could find it and expose them. I know it wouldn't have been admissible in court, but on social media? This would have dropped like a bomb.
So what did you find?
Nothing. Yes, we had access, but their databases are so vast, we were searching for weeks, and we couldn't even cover half. We didn't find anything. And then the malfunction. And that's it, I swear. I know it looks bad, but we had nothing to do with this.
Friends, I understand where he's coming from. I can sympathize with his cause, and I have struggled with what I should do with what I've learned. Was he responsible for the Corlo malfunction? Even unintentionally? Or maybe he's just incredibly clumsy? I almost fell for it. But then, well, what I'm about to show you is shocking. Just see for yourself.
We got it. It wasn't cheap, but we now have admin access to Corlo's backend. We have a lot of ground to cover, but we have to go low and slow. We're gonna need time to get what we want.
If we want to go through the systems faster, we could use an autonomous AI. It's fast, and it behaves like a regular user. But I have to be honest, there's a strong chance of corruption. Carlo is responsible for a lot of medical tech. If we mess with the 4D implant systems, it could get really dangerous for people.
Exposing Corlo is the only thing I care about. Exposing Corlo is the only thing I care about. Is the only thing I care about. Is the only thing I care about.
So there it is. The truth? Michael and his splitter friends attempted to hack Corlo, unleashing a dangerous tool, causing the malfunction, which led to the death of almost 30 people. I've been Julia Sanchez, and this is the truth. As always, remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time on Report 2030.